Welcome back to the Belleville Sens Entertainment Network. We're joined by Sens defenseman Kristians Rubins to talk a little bit about his international experience, being one of the more decorated international players on the team. Thanks for taking a few moments.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we get into that, I just want to chat about the season so far. I think the last time we talked was right around the start of the campaign, maybe even preseason. Just wanted a general thought on how the season's gone so far for you and maybe how it's matched up to your expectations after signing here with the Senators.
Oh, so far I've been really liking here. I think we have a really great group of guys, good coaching staff, and everyone around the team. So I've been fortunate enough to be lucky enough to be a part of this organization.
All right, let's talk about your international experience. You have represented Latvia at various different events, World Juniors, World Championship, Olympic Games qualifiers as well. First off, I guess in a smaller country like Latvia and a growing hockey country, what does it mean to you to wear your country's colors and to represent Latvia on the international stage?
Yeah, it's definitely an honor. Obviously, we're not as big as Canada are, but we have really passionate fans. I think hockey is growing, and players are getting better every year. So it's always been a privilege to wear that jersey and compete and then play for your own country. So I think it's been amazing for every opportunity I've gotten so far. So I've been fortunate enough to play.
Yeah, you played in 3 straight World Juniors, helped Latvia qualify for the top division back in 2016 as well. What did that mean to you to help get your country promoted up to the top division?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years back now, and it was good. Obviously, got to play in Toronto and Montreal. Unfortunately, we went down afterwards, but just the experience of playing in Toronto and Montreal and having that big tournament here in Canada, it was kind of a big first taste for me, just in terms of really understanding what hockey means here in Canada. So, but in terms of just representing my country, it was awesome.
And of course, being relegated is obviously not what anybody wants in a tournament, but what was that event kind of like given excuse me, the hard work that had gone into getting promoted in the first place?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Just looking back at it, I think it's just we kind of got maybe a little bit unlucky because we played Finland in regulation. But just looking back, what happened. But we deserved that spot there that year. So it was just an experience for every player that I still have contact with, and there's still a couple players that play in AHL and then anywhere else in the world that we came together and played as a team that tournament. So.
One of those guys that Sens fans would be familiar with is Rudolf Balcers. Have you guys talked about Belleville at all? Are you in touch with him at all?
Yeah, we did talk. I mean, not as much during the season just because of the busy schedules we both are on. But we did have a chat just before in the summer when I called him just about the Belleville, not about itself. So he only had a really good positive things to say about the organization and that he enjoyed it, and he told me that I'll enjoy my time here as well. So,
how much of an influence has your family had on your international play? I know your mom and grandfather were Olympic athletes themselves. Have they been able to pass along any words of advice in terms of how to prepare yourself, I guess, or representing your country in general?
I think just when you're young, you don't really appreciate how really big and how big of an honor it is. So they kind of, my mom specifically didn't really get the chance to have my grandpa because he's passed away a while ago. But, from my mom in terms of just appreciating that every time you step on the ice and representing your own country. So that's been something that's been passed on, and it's always good to hear those words from my parents.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at World Juniors again specifically, how much did that experience playing internationally maybe help with your earlier development in your career and getting you to the point you are now as a professional?
Yeah, I think a lot for sure. Obviously we don't really have as many guys here in Canada and U.S. at the time. I think we were just a few of us, so coming together and play against Team Canada and the U.S., and you kind of get to learn strategies and how the teams play, and you get to have a better taste about what truly is going on here, because at the end of the day, we all dream of playing in NHL. So just having that taste, just watch other players play and compete against them, I think it's been a really big really big lesson for me in terms of my development.
Have you been able to watch any of the Latvian games at this year's tournament so far?
Yeah, just a couple shifts actually, just because we had pretty much every game we had the same time as they did. But I do watch highlights, I do follow up. Obviously, I have good friends there as well, and then the coaching staff I know. And so, yeah, I wish them the best of luck. I think they're doing really good so far. I mean, obviously, they haven't really won yet, but you know, competing with the top teams, it's never easy. So I just wish them luck.
Even without the victories, how important back home are the small victories, those competitive performances against some of those bigger hockey countries?
Yeah, it's huge. I would say a lot of people watch. Obviously, families will watch, and fans that are passionate about hockey, and just obviously it's so far out because it's in Canada and the U.S., so the time difference and stuff. So I don't assume people wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to watch the games, but I do know that there is a few thousand that definitely watch those games. So I think it's a good experience and a good choice for the players to play and know that they have support back home.
Yeah, and a pretty passionate fan base as well. That always seems to be a good group of Latvian fans that travel as well to make their presence known. I guess lastly, when you look back on all of the international experience you have, is there a specific memory or certain memories that stand out to you when you think about that time?
Yeah, definitely. I think Toronto, playing in Toronto and Scotiabank has been just that first taste that I'll remember forever. And then secondly, I think my first goal is in the national team in Denmark, World Championships, when we even qualified. So that was one of the best tournaments we played, and me personally as well. So those are kind of two things that will stick with me forever.
And I'm sure more international memories to be made, as your career is still pretty young. So hopefully you'll get the call again to the national team, and we'll get to root for you there.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Rubes. Appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Kristians